When is a late medical school application too late? Hey, BeMo Nation, welcome to another episode of our One Question podcast. My name is Ranza. I'm a lead admissions expert here at BeMo, and I am joined with my lovely colleague, Dr. Meng, another lead admissions expert here at BeMo. Meng, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. Super happy to be back.
We are super thrilled, you guys. We have nothing to sell you, just pure strategies, tips, and content, because we believe that everyone deserves access to equal education. In case you've never watched one of these before, or even listened to one of these before, they are completely unscripted. So no fancy music, no audio, nothing of that nature. It's just pure content. We have 10 minutes to tackle a new topic each week. And this week's topic is, when is a late medical school application too late? I'm actually going to start the timer now, Mang. 10 minutes on the timer. Okay. So I guess when it comes to applications, we know that in most cases, it's time is of the essence, right? Most programs have a rolling admissions process. So I think, why don't we tackle what that is, and then we can go into the importance of why should we avoid being late, and then actually explain when would it be too late. So what is rolling admissions? Why is it important not to be late?
So rolling admissions is basically they open up admissions and then they begin reviewing application documents as they come in, rather than waiting for a strict deadline to review everyone's application. So at the beginning of the process is when the most seats are open to students or applicants. And as time goes by and as they review applications, they're going to start filling in interview slots, and they're going to start filling in actual seats in the program. So it's a strange context in which to talk about being late, because oftentimes the actual latest deadline to submit your application for a specific program is much later than when the application's open. So students feel like they have a lot of time, and they don't actually feel like it's possible to be late. But you don't want to be making that mistake. You definitely want to be starting earlier rather than later.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. And just the added stress that I see when our students come to us and everything is rush. And when it's rush, we already know that it's not going to be your best foot forward, the best impression, the quality is not, it's not to the standard that we'd like it to be. Now, in terms of, what does it mean to be late, right? When is it late? I think we can even answer that by asking, when we suggest students to submit, what's the ideal timeline that most students should aim for?
Probably the most ideal time to be submitting your application is literally the first day that you're able to. So for AMCAS, for example, it would be end of May or beginning of June, depending on the cycle. That is the most ideal time to be submitting your application, because not many other people have. You're going to get your application in, they're going to see that, and your chances of getting an interview slot or getting secondaries, moving forward in the process is going to be at its maximum, essentially. What we suggest as a timeline to work with is to submit your application no more than a month after they all open. At that point, your chances significantly dropped, because over that course of 4 weeks, a lot of people will have submitted their applications, and those slots fill up quite fast.
Okay, so say now, I'm a student watching or listening to this podcast, and I'm like, all right, so I've definitely passed that 1 month mark. Like, what do you suggest? Does that mean it's done? I'm over for this cycle. I shouldn't apply? Or if I'm going to apply, what should I really prepare for? What are some strategies that you would suggest?
Well, definitely don't rush, right? So if you're feeling the pressure right now, don't rush through the writing process of your application, because you really have to strike a balance between submitting a quality application and getting one in as early as you can. So that's one of the big mistakes that students will make in this process, is they will rush that process. They will submit something that is not well written, that has errors in it, and that in itself will get you rejected quite early. So you want to give yourself the time to brainstorm. It will speed up your process if you can get expert feedback, for sure, right? show it to someone who has seen a lot of applications and can give you really critical feedback and suggestions on how to bring your application to the level that it needs to be considered and to be competitive. You'll also want to be careful about selecting which schools you apply to. If you are late, right? You want to be selecting schools where your chances are maximized at that point.
There you go. We actually have plenty of time left and remaining, but just to kind of summarize for everyone watching or listening, when is it too late? If you get to that point that it's open for about 1 month, your application submission has been open and you still have several other components, and at a point you're getting to rush where quality is diminished, then at that point, it would be suggestive that, you're actually hurting your chances of applying if you're rushing. And then on top of that, we just talked about rolling admissions. So you already know at that point that chances are, as the day goes on, every day that passes, your chances are getting less and less for potentially, the right to reserve a seat in the medical program.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys, we wrapped that up actually less than 10 minutes. Thanks so much, Mang. Thanks for everyone watching and listening. If you like this as much as we really like putting this for you, please go ahead and share with a friend, subscribe so you don't miss a future episode, and ask any questions that you might have in the comment section. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.